Once again, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be exploring ELK Stack. Okay, ELK or ELK Stack, as you choose to call it, is a stack of open source tools, or rather, a combination of open source tools that are used for monitoring purposes. It is used in monitoring application and infrastructure, which can help in resolving or troubleshooting issues that might arise in the running of those applications. Now, the structure you have on the screen depicts how ELK actually works. A simple diagrammatic schema of how ELK works. But before we go into that, I would like to explain to you what is ELK. Now, ELK, must have been hearing ELK. ELK stands for, the E stands for Elasticsearch, the L stands for Logstash, the K stands for Kibana. Okay, I'm going to explain what each and every of these components mean. So, each of these tools are open source tools, and the combination of the two form what we call the ELK stack, which we can employ to carry out application and infrastructure monitoring. Now, how does this work? Now, if we have an application running, for example, let's say we have an EC2 machine that is set up here. Okay, this is an EC2 machine. Okay, and inside that EC2 machine, we have our application. Okay, we have an application that is running on this EC2 machine. Now, this application is going to generate some logs. Okay, now we need to monitor this log. How can we monitor it using ELK? Now, there's a component that is called FileBit. There's a component called what? FileBit. This FileBit will collect these logs. Okay, this FileBit will collect these logs and make them available to, let's have another EC2 here, another EC2 machine where we install the ELK. Okay, so we have two machines now. One is running the application, the other one is running the ELK. That is, on top of this one, we have installed Elasticsearch, we have installed Logstash, and we have installed Kibana. So this FileBit will collect these logs and send it to Logstash. So this is Logstash here. Logstash. So FileBit will collect the logs and send it to Logstash. So Logstash will process the log. Now, when Logstash processes that log, it's going to what? It performs two important actions on the logs. It's going to perform what we call parse, log parse, and it's also going to what? Filter the log. So Logstash is going to parse the log and filter them based on the criteria that you have sent in it. For example, you know that if an application is running, there are going to be a lot of logs collected. The logs can be on the memory, it can be on the timestamp, it can be on the storage. There are so many logs that are going to be collected and they are going to be running. So when FileBit scrap and collect these logs, it's going to send it to Logstash based on the criteria that have been set. If the settings is such that you only need the memory and the storage, so Logstash will filter all the logs and will only collect the memory and the storage logs and will not collect any other one. So that is what Logstash does. It pass and filter the logs. So after Logstash has done that, then Logstash will now present this data to Elasticsearch. Okay, it will send it to Elasticsearch. And what would Elasticsearch do? It does what we call data log or data indexing. Okay, it's going to index the log. And what do I mean by it's going to index the log? It's going to arrange the log in a structural or in a well-structured format, such that it will be easier for the data to be retrieved. So while Logstash will parse and filter the data, Elasticsearch will index them, and it's going to index them using what we call there's a component called grok. So it's going to use that grok to that grok tool will contain some settings. It is those settings that will decide how Elasticsearch will index those data. So after Elasticsearch has indexed those data, then the data will be made available to Kibana. Kibana simply does it visualize. Kibana only visualize. So Kibana will now present this data in a visual format for human readable. It will make it easier for human to read those logs. It can bring those logs in form of a graph or in form of a chart or in form of a table. Depends on how you choose to set it up. And you'll be able to You'll be able to see this data easily. So this is how ELK works. So we have 4 components. The ELK contains 3 components of Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, while FileBit is part of the application that will scrap the data and present it to Logstash. Now, for those of you that are familiar with Prometheus and Grafana, so in this case, your Grafana is like the Kibana. Okay, Grafana is a visual tool. It's a tool that displays the visual result from the logs or the visual output from the logs. So the Grafana is very similar to Kibana in this case. Why your Prometheus will work as Elasticsearch, okay? Because in Prometheus and Grafana, there's something also we call node exporter. Node exporter is similar to FileBit here, because this node exporter that will scrap the data and present it to Prometheus. Prometheus will process it and and provide it to Grafana for display. So in this case, FileBit will scrap the data, the logs from application, and send it to Logstash. Logstash will send it to Elasticsearch, and Elasticsearch will make it available to Kibana. And that is exactly what I'm showing inside here. So this is a typical example of how we are going to display it. So we are going to have 2 EC2 machine. Okay, this is one EC2 machine here, and this is another EC2 machine. So this EC2 machine is going to run an application. The application is a Java application, and the artifact is built in a .war application. And so when we run the application using a Jetty, we're going to run the application using a Jetty server, okay, and we are going to collect the logs in a metric. So we are going to collect the log in a file. The file will be called app.log. Okay, the file can be called, let me clean this. Okay, so the file can be called app.log. So this is a separate file where the log will be collected. So it is this inside, it is this log that is collected here that file bit will take. File bit. It is this log that file bit will take and send it to what? To Logstash, and that's what is shown here. So this is where file bit work. File bit. So this is where file bit will work, and it will what? It will send it to Logstash. Logstash will process the data and send it to what? Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch will process the data and make it available to what? Kibana. So that is what we are going to be doing here. Now, in this project, I have made it in two ways. One, I made the step-by-step approach on how this can be executed manually, which we are going to see, and also automate it so that with a single or two command, we'll be able to execute all the process as we are going to see it. But before we go into the hands-on, let me quickly run you through a little um, a little theory of what it does. So here I have a little note here which I call monitoring with ELK, and there I explained that ELK stands for Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, and I said they are powerful, open source tools for management, analytics, and visualization. And in the overview, I said Elasticsearch, which is what? Elasticsearch is scalable, and what it does is to what? Index logs data efficiently. And also, if you look at, I said Logstash, it's a data pipeline that collects the logs, and Kibana is for visualization. And I also mentioned that how does it work? Okay, that's just what I explained now. Logs are collected via Logstash or FileBit, and Logstash process, and then read the log before sending it to Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch will now index and store the data, and Kibana will visualize it. Now, how can you deploy ELK? In common deployment, it can be used in real time and of application and infrastructure monitoring, like I mentioned earlier. It can also be used for log analysis and for debugging, and also for security analytics. Now, so this is the theory aspect. I'm going to include this document in the content for you if you want to read further on it. So, and now let us jump onto our AWS console, and we are going to put it into demonstration. So I have a GitHub repo where I have put the step-by-step approach on how to execute this project, and that is what we are going to follow. So I will go to my console now. Okay, and I'm going to launch an EC2 instance. I will click on launch. So we are going to launch two EC2 instance. So let me just call it web app, app, which I'm going to change later. I'll call it web app, and I'm going to go for Ubuntu. Stay with 24.04, and then I will go for T2 medium just to make everything fast. Then I already have my keep here, which I will select. Then I have an existing security group, which I'm going to show you. I have an existing security group because all this data, just like I show you, each and every one of these run on different one. I think Kibana run on 56. Kibana run on port 5601. While Logstash run on 54. 04, I think, and I know Elasticsearch run on 9200, I think. So all these ports must be opened, okay? I think this one is 5401, something like that. We're going to see all of them now. But instead of having to go through all this process of opening this port, so what I've done is this: I have this port, this security group called General Security Group. Let me duplicate this and show you. So I have this I have this security group that I have created that I use for my demonstration. So if I click here on security group and I search for general security group, so this is my general security group. So if you click on it, you see I have opened all the necessary ports that are commonly used in DevOps. So if you see this one now, from port 3000 to 10,000, that one must have covered a lot of all these ports that I mentioned, either be it 541 or 5601 or 9200. So it's easier for me to quickly just select it whenever I need. But this is just for demo purposes. So you can create something, you can take screenshot and create something like that for yourself. So that is why I'm choosing that security group here, SG. I'm going to be given this one 30 gig, and I'm going to increase the unit here to what? To 2. So I will launch the instance. So the instance is being launched now. And so let us go onto our instances, our EC2, running. I will close this and I will refresh it. So we have 2 running now, web apps. So I'm going to change one of them to ELK. I will change this to what? ELK server. I will call it ELK server. While this other one is the web app server. Okay. So now we're going to be working on the ELK server. So I'm going to come here and copy the IP address, and then I'm going to go to my terminal. I will bring up my terminal. Then I'm going to select Ubuntu. I want to use Ubuntu terminal. So let me maximize it. And so I'm going to connect to it now. So I will replace this with the IP address. I will click enter or type yes to it, and I'm going to rename it. I will rename it as what? ELK server. Okay, ELK server. Now I'm connected into it. I'll clear the bracket. Now the first thing you want to do now is to what? Anytime you run you bring up a VM or an EC2 machine, it is important to run an update on it. So the update is going to make all the dependencies and all the tool and packages available for you to use. So I will do that by running sudo apt-y update and sudo apt-y upgrade. So I want to this apt. So I want to update and upgrade the application. Sorry, the EC2 machine. So I will do that. So I will also go and do the same for the other. So I'm going to open another terminal here. Get my second IP address for the app. If you look at it here, you can see that is for the web app. So I will get the IP address for the web app, then go back to the terminal, and I will rename this terminal web app. And the same way I will connect to it. I'll click enter, type yes. Okay. Yeah, so this is also connected. I will clear the screen. Then I will run also the same thing. Let me see, maybe So I'll run sudo apt-y update, as the case may be, and sudo apt-y upgrade. Okay, so I'm doing the same now, updating and upgrading the machine. So this is also done, so I'm going to clear the screen here. And now on the ELK, let us start the process. So let's go back. I think I have my repo here, which I'm going to make available to you in the comment section. And I have something here called ELK manual deploy. So inside it, I have the README file, which contains the step-by-step approach, and we're going to follow it. So the first thing we want to do now is we have done sudo apt and sudo upgrade. So the next thing we're going to do now is to install Java. Okay, so we copy this to here and install Java. So if you like, you can remove the sudo apt update because you have already run it before, and you can just run sudo apt install openjdk. But that's still okay. We can still do it like that. So I'll click enter so that I can run. I can install Java, and after that, what next? After that, we are going to what? Install Elasticsearch. So just copy this. And what are we doing here? This upper part is to add the repo from where the Elasticsearch, because Elasticsearch is not by default, does not come by default with Ubuntu machine. So you need to first add the package where you go to install it. So I've copied this. So I'll go here and clear my screen as well and paste it and click enter. So this is going to install Elasticsearch. So I'm going to go back to my process. And what will be the next thing? After we have installed Elasticsearch, then we need to configure Elasticsearch. We need to so a file has been created called elasticsearch.yaml as a sort of the installation. So we'll go ahead and edit this file, and we're going to put this content in there. So the next thing we're going to do now is to configure Elasticsearch. So I'm going to copy this command 1.3. Now I'll go back to my terminal. I like to clear the screen. Then I'll paste this, and this is what I have. So I'm going to copy this content now, this network host, cluster name, the node, and the discovery type. I'm going to copy it, go back to my terminal, and I'm going to put this here, right under the cluster. Okay, right under the cluster. You can actually put it anywhere you like, but I can put it under the cluster here, and that will work. Or I can put it under Elasticsearch configuration. Okay, anywhere that is suitable for you, that is fine. So I can put it under. Let me actually put it under Elasticsearch configuration. Okay, so I'm going to click insert, and I'm going to scroll to under cluster, just right above the cluster here. Okay, and I'm going to click on enter. Okay, I'm going to click enter, and I'm going to paste it. Let me remove the comment out. I'm going to click on enter, then paste it. So now I have pasted it. I will watch escape, and I will save it. So now that is done, then after that we are going to start and enable Elasticsearch. And why do you want to do that? You want to do that so that anytime you start the machine, Elasticsearch will automatically start. So I'll come here and paste this, and I'll click on enter, and it's going to take a few seconds. and it's going to what? Enable Elasticsearch, and it's going to start Elasticsearch and enable it, and he will tell us the status of Elasticsearch. Okay, you can see Elasticsearch is up and running. So now let us confirm. I'll do Ctrl C to cut it, and we can use this command. We can use the call command to actually see if Elasticsearch is responding. So I'll come here and place the command, and you can see it's giving us that the search is working because we got a result. Okay, now we are done with Elasticsearch. I'm going to clear the screen once more. I'll go back here. And what is the next thing? The next thing now is to install and configure Logstash. So copy this, go to install Logstash. After that, just like we did under Elasticsearch, we are going to what? We are going to configure Logstash by editing this file. Okay, we are going to edit this file, and we are going to put this input. We are going to put this configuration there. So I'll copy this. We'll go back to the terminal. Let's wait for Logstash to complete installation. Okay, it's still running. It's starting the service. Waiting for Logstash to be completed. Then we will edit the file. Okay, Logstash is completed. So let's edit this file. You can see the file part, logstash.config. I will click enter, and we are going to paste this content. Now, what is that content? Don't forget, I told you. Okay, let me copy it there. I think it's going to be better there. I'll go see. So if you look at it here, this is the port 5044 where Logstash is going to be exposed. And look at the filter. And don't forget, I told you what that will do. It's going to pass and filter the content. So it's going to filter the content based on this information. So it's going to filter the log based on timestamp, based on log level, and based on greedy data. You know what greedy data is? Data that consumes a lot of resources. So these are the criteria on which Grok is going to filter the logs. Okay, and we're going to see them, and you can see every other configuration here. So I'm going to save and quit. And the next thing that we're going to do, I want to clear the screen again. So the next thing now, after we have put this, we will also start and enable Logstash. So I'll copy it. I'll go back here and click on it. And of course, you can see Logstash is active and running and is enabled. So the next thing now is, he said we should allow this port. Of course, we have already opened the port in our security group, so we don't really need to run this command. But if at all you have not opened that command, the sudo ufw command will help you to expose this port 5044. But we have already attached our security group that exposed this port, so we don't need to run this application. So the next thing now is to install Kibana. So next thing is to install Kibana. So I'll copy this. Okay, I'll stop this. Then install Kibana. So Kibana is being installed. While that is installed, I'll go and copy. So just the same way, we also need to edit this process for Kibana. We need to edit this process. So I'm going to copy this command and go to. So we're waiting for Kibana. When Kibana is done, we will edit the file and also put the input there. In this case, we are putting this input here, safari.host and the elasticsearch.host. And the same way we are going to start and enable Kibana. Okay, so let's check again. Okay, that is completed. I'm going to clear the screen and I'm going to paste this. So now Kibana.yaml, this is the file. Then we need to what? Copy and paste this. Let's copy that. Where is it? This is it, server.host. Let's copy it and we go here and then let's see where we can post it. Wherever we see server.host, we can look for it. Server.host, that is the content I'm looking for. Server.host and Elasticsearch.host. It's going to be somewhere I can actually search. Let me search for it. Come on, server. Can find it. Let me see what it look like. Server.host. Okay, not hosts. So I will check. I will remove the S. So you can see here, this is the server.host. So we can actually put it here. So I'm going to press insert. Sorry. Let me clear this. I will click enter. Then click insert. Then can move down under here. Click enter. I'll clear the comment. Enter, enter, and I can paste it here. Okay. I can paste it here. So we have it. Then I can escape, save and quit. Now again, the next thing now is to start and enable. Look at it, start and enable Kibana. So I'll come here, here's the command. So now Kibana is up and running. And this one says, also this command says we should what? Activate, like I told you, Kibana is running on port 5601. He said we should allow the port to run. Like I said, we already have the port activated as a result of the security group that we attach. So the next thing now is let us go and assess our Kibana. Let us see if Kibana is up and running. And how do we do it? We are going to have HTTP with the IP address of Kibana, then with port 5601. So let's go back here. And what is the port? What is the IP address for the ELK server? And that is this. So we are going to copy it and we are going to open another tab. We are going to paste it with port 5601. We click enter and you can see we are able to access our Kibana. So Kibana is coming up. So welcome to Elastic. And if I click here, you should see here it says explore on my own. Okay, I can click on explore my own. And these are what we can do with it. We can, the enterprise search, observability, security, and analytics. These are the basic tools that you can use for your application and infrastructure monitoring. But now, if you come to the top here on the right top and you click on discover, you can see it's telling you that you need data. We need data to process it, but at this time we don't really have any data because we don't have application running. We don't have 5 bits to send the data to Logstash, from Logstash to Elasticsearch and to Kibana. So now the next thing we want to do now is to set up our application and file bit. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my README file. And the next thing we want to do now, after we have accessed our Kibana, is to install 5-bit. So I'm going to copy this command. Now, to install 5-bit, don't forget that we are installing 5-bit on the same server where your application is running. Don't forget, it is the application, it is 5-bit that will scrap the logs of those applications and send it to Logstash. So 5-bit is going to be on the same EC2 machine where your application is going to be running. So in that case, that will be on our web app, which is this one. So I'm going to clear the screen and I'm going to install 5-bit. So this is installing 5-bit now. And after installing FileBit, just like every other tool, we need to edit FileBit. So I'm going to copy this. Now, before we edit FileBit, it is very important. After installing FileBit, we need to edit and configure FileBit. But before, what we're going to be doing in the configuration is we're going to be setting the path for FileBit to be able to collect the application. Now, but we need the application to start running before FileBit will be able to collect those logs. So that means before we can set up and configure FileBit, we need to have our application running. So at this stage now, we are going to stop at this stage of FileBit configuration, and we are going to go and run our application on we are going to configure our application on the EC2 machine. So I have an application here that I'm going to be running. It's a simple Maven application. So I'm going to copy this application. Okay, I'm going to copy the GitHub repo. I'm going to go back to the web app server. Don't forget we have installed FileBit here, but we have not configured FileBit. We have only installed it. So I'm going to clear the screen now. Repo, git clone, and this is my repository. So the repository is cloned now. And of course, whenever a repository is cloned, it's going to create a folder called the name of the repo, which is Maven Web App. So I'm going to clear the screen. I like to clear the screen. Then I'm going to cd into Maven.app, and I'm going to check the content data. So of course, this is the target this target folder here is the one that usually contains the artifact. So I'm going to delete it because I don't want it, because I want to build the application again. So I'm going to remove this target, remove folder. So I'm going to remove it. I got to clear the screen. I'm going to do ls because the target folder is gone now. So I need to build this application. Now, for me to build this application, I needed Maven to be installed on this machine. And for me to install Maven on this machine, I needed Java to also run on the machine. So I'm going to clear the bracket, clear the screen. Okay, I'll cd out. And then to do now, I want to install Java. So I'll type Java. So I will install Java 17. And like I told you, anytime you see headless means that this Java does not have a UI. It does not have graphical interface. So I'll have this -y, and I'll install Java. So I'm installing Java now on the machine. So after installing Java, I will go ahead and install Maven. So Java is installed. Now I want to install Maven, which is sudo apt install Maven. Okay, sudo apt install Maven. So this is going to install the latest version of Maven. So now I've installed Java and I've installed Maven on my application. If you want to charge, you can. If you say Java version, it will show you Java that is ready, and you can also say Maven version, I think, and it's going to show you Maven that are installed. We don't really need that. So Maven is installed, Java installed. Now I can build the application. So I'm going to go in cd into Maven where the application is, and I'm going to build the application mvn clean package. So I'm building the application now. So the application is being built, and we are going to run. So the application is built successfully. And now if I clear the screen and I go into it again, you will see, okay, you can see now there's a target folder. And if I cd into target folder and I check the content, you can see this is our file, tesla.war. And don't forget, I've told you that it is a file. It is a .war file. Okay, so I'm going to clear this. I can cd into Maven Web App, clear the screen. Now we need to run this application. Now we have to run this application, and when this application is run, we need to generate we need to generate a log and send that log to a separate file where the application is going to be collected. So in order for us to run this application and collect in a file, we are going to run a command called AQP. This is meaning no hang up. That is the short form for no hang up. And what it means is that when you are running the application, even when you leave the terminal, you want the application to continue to run. So no hang up. And then we want to run the application. The application is mvn yeti run. Okay. And we are going to set it into a file. So we're going to send it into a file, and that file is inside.home.ubuntu.maven app inside the target folder, and we're going to call that app.log, that file. So what we are saying now is this command is going to create a file called app.log, and it's going to send the logs of this application that is being run by Jetty server. It's going to send it into that file. And I'm going to have something true one and. So here I'm saying that it should send true and one and. So what I'm saying here is that I'm telling this command that do not hang up for any reason. Maven getting run the application that I've just built, the Tesla.war, send the log into this path and into the file called app.log, and send both the standard output and the standard error into the file. That is what is true, greater than, and one, and. What it means is that both the standard error, that is if there's an error, and also both the standard output, which is the original output, which is the default output of the log, should be sent into that file. So, and I'm going to click enter. And so when it generates a number, it means that this app is already running. And let us try to access this app by copying the IP address. Let's copy the IP address of the application. Don't forget, this is the server, that is the web app. So let's copy the IP address, and we're going to access it on port 8080. Let's do here port 8080. Now click enter, and of course click on web application, and this is our application. Okay, so we're able to access this application, and for the fact that this application is running, it means that logs are being generated and sent into that file that we have created. So having done this, but if you come here, you cannot see data already because file bit has not been configured. Now we can go ahead now and configure file bit. Okay, so I will come back. I will go to my readme file, and the next thing is what? Don't forget, we have completed the installation of FileBit. The next thing is to edit FileBit. So I'll come here. I'll check out of this. I'll clear the screen. After clearing the screen, then I will edit FileBit. I'll put it. So this is FileBit. So I will go and copy the next command, and it has me to put this. And you have to be sensitive here. Make sure that this path is correct with your own web app. You can see the path Maven web app, just that app that I run just now. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, I'm going to copy file bit, and I'm taking it under output. Okay, I'm going to take it under output. So I'm looking for output. It is output here. So I'm going to click enter, and I'm going to go here under output to click enter. I will delete this, enter, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, I've pasted this now. All right. And now, if you look at it, there is ELK server private IP. So I need the IP of the ELK server. So I'm going to go get it. So I'll come back here. This is ELK server. I'm going to collect it. I'm going to copy it. I'll come back here and I'm going to edit that. To edit IP. And why am I doing that? You are telling Logstash. Don't forget Logstash. Sorry, this one is supposed to be there. This is not supposed to be there. Okay, so don't forget that Logstash is the one that will collect the data and send it to what? Um, to Elasticsearch. So that is why we are putting it in output. And now we have to disable Elasticsearch output. Look at it here because it is the Logstash that collects the information, pass and filter it, and send it to the Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch cannot be part of the output. So you have to make sure you comment this out. Okay. So I'm going to comment that out. Comment that out here. So in front of host, I'm going to add a comment out. And I think we are fine here. If there's any error, we'll come back. So I'm going to escape. I'm going to save and quit. Now that we have this, then the next thing is to what? Go back to our README file. And after we have configure FileBit, then we start FileBit. So let's go and start FileBit. If there's any error, we'll try to fix it. So FileBit, you can see it's still activating. Okay, I think there's an error here. I'm not sure. FileBit main process feed exit. I will try again. I will clear this. I will paste and enter. Okay, it looks like it still failed. So let's try to see what we are doing here. So let's check our configuration again. So I'm going to stop this. I will clear the screen and I will go back to edit the file once again. I will edit the file. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take the output of the output of the output dot logstash, and I'm going to take it to a different place. So I'm going to remove it from here. That means I can just let me click enter. I can just comment it out. Yeah, I'm talking about this. I'll just comment it out and also comment this one out. Or let me just remove it. Let me just remove it completely. Okay, I'll just remove it completely. Okay, I'm seeing something different. Okay, let's be careful here. I think the syntax might be wrong. So okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just not save it. I will not save it. Then I will clear the screen again. Back in. So I think the syntax is wrong for FileBit. So let's first correct the syntax. If that did not work, then I can now take this one out. So I'll click on enter. And if you look at it under type, the type is supposed to be indented. The type is to be indented under file, yes. And this one too is supposed to be under type. And this one is supposed to be on the table. Okay, this is supposed to be on that part. So that is how it should be, I believe. Let me quickly check. Because if you look at it here, so this is actually wrong. This is not supposed to be this way. The type is supposed to be indented, I believe. So if that is the case, so now that we have corrected it, which I believe it's fine now. So let me save. Then we'll now try to see if it works. So I'll press escape, quit and save. Then I'm going to start it now. So let me go back there, paste this. Okay, you can see now it's now working. You can see it's active and running now. So it was the indentation that actually worked. So, but now that it's running, the next thing is let us check if file bit is collecting output. Let us see if file bit is getting output from the application and sending it to Logstash. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to type this. Okay, so there's an error. It says in a selecting error, more than one namespace is accessing output. So that means in the filebit.yaml, there's more than one namespace for output. Look at it, more than one namespace configure accessing output. So let's check it again. I will go back to the file. Maybe we have more than one output. So I'll go back to the file. So let us see. So this is an output here. Okay, look at it. Look at another output here under output.elasticsearch. We cannot have two outputs. Okay, so we need to disable one. You can see this is disabled already. So we need to disable this. So I'm going to come here. I'll press enter, and I'm going to go and disable this by adding a comment in front of it. And let us see if we have any output elsewhere. Output. Okay, I think we are fine. So let's save again. Escape. WQ. So after every change, we have to restart. File bit. So we start file bit again. Okay, and after restarting that, I will now clear the screen. I will now check it again if that is running. Let me look for the code. That's it. Okay, now it's working. So you can see it gave me the error. It says because something was wrong, and that's why I went to disable it. So now we got all the information. So let us go back to our Kibana now. Let's refresh and let us see. If we refresh, let us see what we have. You can see now you have data in Elasticsearch. Because don't forget before it says you needed data. Now it said you now have data to process. So now create an index pattern. So if you like, you can start with creating an index. And here I want to type log x. So log x means anything that has to do with log. And I don't want to do this, and I will create it. And you can see now some data has been collected. And let us see how we can. So I'll come here now, click on discover, and you can see a lot of data, a lot of logs are being collected here. And so I can even type app.log, and if I click enter, so you can see now all the app.log is being highlighted. You can see it, and it has about 436 hits. So don't forget, when I was configuring my log search, my Elasticsearch. One of those things I put there was timestamp. So I can come here now. This is timestamp here. I can click on time. I can click on visualize. So it's going to give me the graph of uh, how many hits. That is how many times that log appear. 436. This is the log here. I should look at it. If I put it at the top, you can see this is 436. So, and you can carry out a lot of changes. You can come here if you don't want the chart to be vertical. You can put it in horizontal. Okay. You can put it in pie chart or in bar chart, as the case may be. You can put it in metrics. It will give you the count. You can put it in table to give you what the table is. If you want to draw an area, you can also draw, as the case may be. So now we have succeeded. You can also use heat map. Okay, that is not configured here. So we have been able to um, configure ELK to visualize the logs from our application, and this can help DevOps or cloud engineer to easily troubleshoot issues. And there are so many other things that can be done here. You can create a lot. There are so many things that can be done. So you can create dashboard for it. Okay, if you know how to manipulate it. So you can just on your own come here, try so many things. Just play around with it. I'm going to put the repository in the application. Sorry, in the comment section for you to what to follow through. Now, this is the manual. This is the um, manual way or the manual approach to install or to configure this project. Now, I've gone ahead to consolidate all these steps into a simple automation script that you can just run and you're going to get the same result. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to tear down all these resources and we are going to use um, the automation to carry it out. So what I'm going to do now here, I'm going to go to uh, my AWS console and I'm going to disable, I'm going to um, kill this, I'll terminate this process. Okay, I'll come to the application, I'll close it, and um, I also close my Elasticsearch, Kibana. So now terminated everything. Now we are going to be using um, our automation to run this process. So in the same repository that I'm going to make available to you, and have something called setup.sh file. This is a bash script. It's a very long one. It's about 605 lines of code. Okay, I didn't write it. What I did was I collected all the steps, I put it in a structural form, and I present it to an AI, and I tell the AI to help me generate a script that will use Terraform and Ansible to to execute this process. And after a lot of forth and back, error, correction, fixing, debugging, I came up with this holistic script that you can just run, and um, that script will perform the same step just like we have done for almost an hour now. And what this script will do is that this script is going to create all these files you are seeing here. All these files you are seeing on the left hand, all the way from Ansible, apart from the EK manual deploy that I added to it, but be it Ansible and all the file under Ansible, group file, template, inventory, site, and it's going to create it. It's going to come under Terraform. It's going to create the inventory, main.f, var, git, sorry, .git ignore that I know I added that one too. So it's going to create it, and it's also going to create deploy.sh file, and then and it's going to execute the project. So that's what we are going to do now. So the only thing you need is this setup.sh file. So let us jump on that and do it. Of course, you see that this one is dead. We don't have any Kibana again, and we don't have the application. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open my VS Code, and I'm going to open a new window. Okay, I'm going to open a new window. Let me close the one below, expand it, and I'm going to open a terminal. And that terminal, I want to use Ubuntu terminal. Okay, and inside the Ubuntu terminal, clear this. I want to use, I'm going to create a folder called, let's just give it a name. Let's call it ELK, ELK automation. So I've created this file called ELK automation. So let me create it. Make directory ELK automation. So that is created. So I'm going to cd into ELK automation. Okay, clear the screen. And I'm going to, inside it, I'm going to create a file. And that file is going to be called setup.sh. Setup.sh. Okay, how do we create that file? I will call it touch. Well, for the file, I want to copy something into it. So I will touch the file, touch setup.sh. Okay, now that I've created the file, it's here. So I want to open it in the command line now. So I'll just come here and say code period, because I want to open this in the VS Code. Code period, and I'll click enter. So it's going to open it in another VS Code, and I can close this one and I can expand it. So this is the file now. So I'm not going to copy. So I'm going to make this repository available to you. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to copy the content of this file. So I'll just copy it from here, copy, and I'm going to take it to my VS Code and I'm going to paste it. Okay, now I've pasted it. Okay, this is it. It's about 605 line of code. So having pasted it, my own VS Code is in auto save. You can see it is in auto save. So it's already saved as I pasted it. If your own is not auto save, you have to go ahead and save it. And now that this is done, I'll come back to my terminal, and all I just need to run is, I'm going to run this sh file. But before you do that, make sure that this sh file is executable. So let's first check ll. So the file may not be executable. So let's give it, let's make it executable by using the command sudo chmod plus x, then setup.ivan. Sorry, not found. Okay, my command is wrong. It's not, my sudo is wrong. I will clear the screen and write again sudo chmod plus x setup.sh. Okay, asking for my password. That is the right one. That is done. I'll clear the screen. I like to do that. And if I do ll, you can see now that it has turned green. So for the file, that the color of the file has turned green, meaning that the file is now executable. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit for you to see. And now I'm going to run the command now, sh setup.sh. So I'll run it, and you can see just that it has created all this file. You see now it has created all the file under Ansible. It has also created the file under Terraform, and it has also create deploy.sh file. And what did it tell me? It now say, well, you can now run .sh file. So if you do ll now, you can see all the files that have been created by this sh setup.sh. Now we can now run the deploy file that will complete the process. So I will come here now and run deploy.sh. And this is going to take some period of time. I will click enter. And let's see how the magic works. So this is going to start by first running the it will first run the Terraform by creating the EC2 instances that is needed. After creating the EC2 instance, it's going to wait for about 90 seconds for the EC2 instance to be ready. After the EC2 instance is ready, it will now start to deploy all the tools. Okay, you can see now it says he has created the server, he has created the two instances. These are the IP address, and they also give us the IP address of the one that contain Kibana. So he told us that we can get Kibana on this IP address. You can see it. Let me see if I can still zoom out a little bit. So you can see this is the output. Now it's waiting for 90 seconds now, because whenever you create an EC2 instance, it's going to take a couple of seconds or minutes for it to initialize and be available. So if I go to my EC2 instance now, you will see that two instances. If I refresh, you can see that two instances is running. He called one of the instance ELK server, and it's called another one client logger generator. This is where the application is going to run. And you can see it's still initializing. That is why it's waiting. It's waiting for this initialization to complete before the process will continue. So if we go back to our data now, so it's still waiting. And after 90 seconds, it will kick up and it will go ahead to install. It will now use Ansible to install it will install Logstash, it will install Elasticsearch, and to install FileBit, also install Kibana. You will also go ahead and run. You can see it has started now. It will also go ahead and run the application. And all we just need is to pick the IP address. We'll be able to see the application, and we'll be able to check Kibana and see if our data is available. So let's see how this will work. Okay, it is working now. I would have paused it and come back for when it is completed, but I think it's worth it to actually see how it's working. So you can see now it has started, and I can see these are all the steps that are available. You should go to inside the Ansible file. Let me quickly show you inside the Ansible file here. Ansible site.yaml. So these are the process. These are the process. You can see it. It's installing EKS server. After that, we install Java. After after updating the cache, install Java. After install Java, it will add the Elastic KBG, add the repository, install specific version, stop Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is stopped. It will debug. After that, it will set the descriptor limit, and it will set Elasticsearch. It will check if the port is open. It will verify the port. You can see all the processes is what that is being carried on here. Okay, so don't be surprised. So it gives us the output when it check that the output. Remember when we checked this too, we also got that. Okay, so now it's ensuring Elasticsearch is stopped before starting it. Okay, it's debugging Elasticsearch now. It's verifying Elasticsearch. It's installing Logstash now. Okay, so don't forget that when you install Logstash, you have to wait for Logstash to be on before it's going to enable it. So this is the power of Ansible and Terraform. We have used Terraform, and don't forget is the script that is running all this. So it has installed Logstash, it has configured Logstash, it has restarted and enabled Logstash. Now it's installing Kibana. So if I go to copy the IP address of Kibana, okay, let's assume I go to this is where Kibana is going to be. Kibana is going to be in the server. So if I copy this IP address, let's refresh. If I copy this address, and Kibana is in, I think I put it here and I said Kibana is 5601, and I click enter. You see that we are not getting it. We can't hit it. We can't hit the server because it's still running here. Look at it. It's still running here. Okay, Kibana. So he has finished installing Kibana now. He has started and enabled Kibana. Now let's go back. Let's see if Kibana is available now. Let's refresh. Okay, not yet. Not yet. Okay, you can see Kibana server is not ready yet, but you can see it has changed. Okay, so let's give it a while, because whenever you run the server, sometimes server take a couple of seconds or minutes to come up. So let's see. Let's refresh again. Still not there. If you look at it, if I zoom out, you will see it here. You say what? Kibana server is not ready. So let's refresh again. Okay, still cannot connect. We'll give it a time. Let's go back to our EC2 instance. It's still, sorry, our automation is still working. Okay, so you can see that it actually starts Kibana here. After Logstash, you can see at this stage Kibana was restart at this stage. So maybe that is why it was still waiting. So it's installing Maven now, installing Java, everything that we did is doing it now. It's building the application now. It's going to do Maven build just like we did. Let's go back and check our Kibana. Let's refresh. Okay, you can see Kibana is coming up now. Kibana is coming up. Welcome to Kibana. Just like let's explore on my own. And let's go to discovery. You can see data is not ready. It's ready to try Kibana. First, you need data. Data is not available now because the application has not started running. So let's go back. Now, okay, you can see it has started Java application, but it's waiting. It said, wait for logs to be generated. It's waiting for log to be generated, and it's going to tell us, okay, you can see these are logs that has been generated. It's showing us all the logs. So it's telling us now that log is generated. So let's wait for it to complete. And you can see it's installing Firebit now. Don't forget we did that. Before we install Firebit, we make sure that we run the application to make sure the application is running and logs are being generated, because it is only that. It is after that that Firebit can go and check it. And if you look at it here, it says what? Jetty started. So that is the application. And of course, it's completed. It deployment completed successfully. Kibana dashboard is available at this. So, which is what we already have. I can still copy it if I like, but I already have it. So I will go to my Kibana now. If I refresh now, you will see that data should be available. You can see now, let me complete this. And you can see you have data now. This is just exactly what we had at that time. So instead of using the manual approach of trying to collect the data and install it manually, you are able to use automation to do it. So that is the power of automation. As a DevOps engineer or a cloud engineer, these are the things that you want to integrate into your work. So I hope you have learned one or two things on in this project. Please, if you like this video, kindly like and subscribe to this channel, so that anytime I post or I drop or I upload any new video, you're going to get notification. Please, if you have any question, put it in the comment and I will try to attend to you as soon as possible. I'm going to include all the information and the repository in the comment section in case if you want to follow it. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.